Good evening, everybody. It is May 7th. It is 7:38 p.m. And this is the May meeting of the May 2025 meeting of the Norwalk Fair Rent Commission. We've just called the meeting to order, and we're going to do a quick run through of those in attendance. We have with us Vice Chair Fran Collier Clemens, Commissioners Johnny May Weldon, Brenda Penn Williams, Jay Hanson Guest, and we will have Peter Holiday joining shortly, but because he has to join by phone, he had to wait for the meeting to start in order to log in. Carlos, can you just look for Peter's phone to call in? Thank you. But we do have a quorum, and so we will start with the meeting. I'm going to present the agenda for tonight's meeting. And we will start with the minutes from last meeting, which are right here. Does anyone have any changes to the minutes on page 1? Does anyone have any changes on page 2? Does anyone have any changes on page 3?
There's a typo there.
Yep.
Amended.
Right here.
Yeah, double M.
Yeah.
And then unanimously as well.
Space.
Any other changes, comments?
I'm sorry, I thought I was talking, I was on mute. But under John Church, that second line says, watch the hearing up into the point. I don't understand that. That I've watched the hearing up into the point. I don't think that's correct.
Up until the point.
So we need to take that
It's just quoting my ums and everything else. So probably should say, I will certify and confirm. I guess probably certify and affirm.
So which one is it? Is it certify and affirm or
it's certify and affirm?
And affirm it should be.
Yeah.
So and confirm.
I will certify and affirm.
Okay.
That I've watched the hearing up until the point where the hearing ended.
Okay.
And there's a double do in there. I need to do solemnly.
Yeah. It just was quoting exactly however I said it, as opposed to filtering it and editing it to make it sound like a logical sentence.
May I offer this correction, because we're saying, but we're not saying what to take out. Take out and confirm. Take out to do in that line 1.
Take out whatever I need to do.
Correct.
Okay. And in the second line, into should be changed to until. And I think there should be a period behind everything else. And there should be a period at the end of case.
I would also take out the do solemnly swear.
I hope this is corrected correctly.
Carlos, you'll be able to work on that to make the changes. I'll work with a monitor to change it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
How can I make the motion to adjourn and also second the motion to adjourn?
Well, it's a very good question. I have
And
my
also
notes.
Collier
Yeah.
needs a dash in the between Clemens.
In all cases, I believe there was a case up here, yeah, where it's also missing the dash. Um,
And respectfully is misspelled.
yes.
It's true.
I have in my notes that it was seconded by Sonia Oliver.
That's what I have as well.
Okay. So we'll change the second on the adjournment to Sonia Oliver. The motion did pass unanimously. Any other, I mean, that's the end. So I will take a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
I move to accept the minutes as amended.
Someone needs to make a second.
I can't. I wasn't at the
I-
meeting.
I will
wasn't there.
second.
Thank you. Commissioner Guest seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
I
I was not in attendance.
You're going to abstain, Johnny May?
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right. So we have Brenda, I didn't get your vote. You're on mute.
You must have went away from the. Brenda, where are you?
I'm right here.
Okay, I didn't get your vote on the minutes.
Yes, I got vote for. I'm sorry, John.
Thank you. Okay, so we've got 4 in favor and 1 abstention. Ms. Weldon, Commissioner Weldon abstains. All right, we will go on to the next item of business, which is the chair's report. I have two things I want to just mention. One is you're all probably aware, but the local city budget is in the process of discussions right now. And that does impact us because, of course, our staff are are compensated out of that city budget. I think this is just want to state on the record that the work that this commission does, particularly in a time where housing prices have escalated as much as they have, rent prices in particular have escalated as much as they have, and particularly in a time where there is a lot of uncertainty about what federal funding might be available for housing in the coming years. The work that this commission and the staff of this commission does is really critical. I think that the record shows the number of hearings that we've had in the past year, the number of cases that have been brought, even if they haven't gone to a hearing, and the negotiations that we've done to resolve those cases, illustrates how critical the work that the staff does is. And I just want it on the record so that if there's any doubt from the commissioner's perspective that this is, a really critical part of what services the city offers. And it's something that the state has tried to expand, but we're one of the longest running and I think most successful fair rent commissions. And so I think that we serve as a model for other communities, and I expect and hope that we'll continue to fund this to the capacity that's needed to support our community. concludes my report. I will pass it over to Carlos for the coordinator's report.
Good evening, everyone. And just to kind of piggyback on what the chair was talking about, now that this Fair Rent Commission network was created in Connecticut, and we're going to meet, by the way, next May 16, we bounce a lot of ideas back and forth, and we're going to be able to maybe put some information that will get pushed up, hopefully, into the housing committee and legislation. But yes, like the chair said, this has been one of the longest, if not the longest, Fair Rent Commission that's been very successful in the state of Connecticut. And I'm very proud to work here because a lot of people reach out to me and ask me questions. How have you guys done it? How have you guys done it so well in the past? And how you guys keep doing it so well moving forward? So I'm able to share some of best practices that we have. It's also very when I have a lot of customers and a lot of residents come in, it's a bit frustrating when people come in and let's say I'm not biased, so I provide information to both landlords and tenants, and I have landlords coming in and saying, hey, by the way, I'm charging X amount of dollars for this rent. Do you think that's fair, or what do you think should be the fair value of it? So I immediately tell them, look, that's not for me to say, and that's not my job. My job is just to provide information on the rights and responsibilities of landlords and tenants. Whatever the value you want to put in, then that's up to you. This is what I could tell you. These are the pros, these are the cons of raising rent. This is how you should do it, etc. Additionally, I understand that the demand is higher than the supply, and also sympathize with the tenants when sometimes they come in with issues, especially related to security deposits, because some of these families are so desperate to move into a new place that they at times provide and drop money and put a security deposit without seeing places. They end up looking at it, and then they want to turn back around and move out because it's not exactly what was promised or what they were looking for. So that has been a concern that I've seen in a trend over the last few weeks. People trying to secure housing immediately without actually looking at it and doing a full visit. So I stress to them, make sure that before you put a deposit, you go take a look at it. You ask questions, you talk to the landlord, and there's any red flags, then I suggest you go somewhere else. Another point that I wanted to bring up was recently that some of these big property management companies are requiring tenants to pay their rents through the company portal. But along with that, using that portal to pay their rents, now they're actually charging their tenants a fee to utilize that portal. So this is a question that I will be bringing up on May 16 when I have my conversation with the other Fair Rent Commissions and with some of the lawyers that work for the Connecticut Legal Housing Office. See if this is something that they can do and they can charge. I feel that if you're paying your rent, it doesn't matter how you pay your rent as long as you pay your rent on time. Being charged a fee, some residents have been having a concern with the added fee. There's another event coming up that will be hosted here at City Hall on February 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. And that's the Affordable Housing Informational Fair. So I'll have a table there, Fair Housing, we have a table, Planning and Zoning, and other agencies will be present to provide answers to questions that the public might have. We're not going to be providing affordable housing opportunities, applications to residents. It's just going to be an informational session.
Excuse me, one minute.
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
I know you have is that February 23rd?
No, that's May 22nd.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
This is on a Thursday, May 22nd from 6 to 8. I have the flyer. I can share the flyer with the commission after this meeting. You're all more than welcome to attend. Same thing with May 16. May 16, it's gonna be I believe it's via Zoom and not in person. If any of the commissioners would like to attend that Fair Rent Commission network meeting, I could share that link with everyone if you want to attend and be part of it. And that's all I have from the coordinator's report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Carlos, can you quickly check the attendees column on the participant list? Is there anyone in there?
There's one,
849. There you go. That's Peter.
9835.
Peter, can you speak now?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Great. I note
Yeah,
for the record
because
that
the system said that I'm going to be muted all night. So,
we got you in.
yeah.
I note for the record
Okay,
that Peter Halliday is officially in the meeting as a commissioner at 7:54 p.m. All right.
Thank you.
We will go to the next item on the agenda, which is reviewing discussion on open cases, which I will scroll down to. And we turn it to Russell Liskoff.
Good evening, everybody. Russell Liskov. The first case we have is 1831-23 is 8 Union Avenue, apartment B3. The landlord wants to raise the rent from $959.50 to $1,500 for a one-bedroom apartment. This is our oldest painful case that we have. I actually had a email back from the attorney today, and he said that they hasn't heard from the other side. I recommend no action, but I'd also ask you to make them come in next month and explain to the commission why they have not finished their agreement, because it's grating on my nerves. And I know it's good grating on your nerves. This should be long done. And so if you could take no action this month, but order them to appear at the next commission meeting to explain why they have not come to their agreement.
Yeah. This is the group first, can I get a motion and then we can have discussion after the motion?
I move no action on the case in point.
Second.
Okay, motion from Commissioner Fran Collier Clemens, second from Peter Halliday. All right, I'm going to open this for discussion. So this is the case, correct me if I'm wrong, that we had postponed from last June's hearing to January. And then at the January hearing, they agreed that they were still in negotiations. We postponed it then. They were going to finalize it. Like, the reason that we didn't have the hearing 5 months ago, was because they were going to come to an agreement.
Right. They've actually, the tenant has actually been paying the new rent all along. There's one thing holding it up where the landlord is not agreeing to it, even though I put it on the record. So I think if you use your power to say to them why, and Carlos is pulling the video of what happened, and because I put stipulations on the record that they were to abide by, I want to give that to the attorney so he can see whatever he agreed to, and he can't back out of it now. And his client can't back out of it now. So if you want to take no action and you want to give it another month, that's fine. And we can play the video for them. But I just want to get them under your thumb a little bit more so they have to be more responsive.
I think it doesn't sound like having a hearing is appropriate, but I don't know if we can compel them to abide by the stipulations that they agreed to.
You can. You can order them. Explain. I'm the commission. Explain to me why you haven't finished this agreement yet.
All right.
Then
Then
you compel them to explain. If not, you will, as a commission, make a determination.
Yeah. Well, we would then have to have the hearing, right?
Correct.
So
It's just, I think if you put a little fire underneath them, it'll get them uncomfortable enough to come to the table and get this all done.
yeah.
So are they saying, Sean, so are they saying it's best for us to have a hearing on this?
No, I want them to have to come in and explain to the commission why haven't they signed the agreement yet.
Okay.
So will they come in on our Zoom?
I would have them by Zoom. I don't I don't want to make all of you come on down just to have them talk for a minute and a half to say why they haven't come to the agreement. And hopefully they'll have the agreement signed if we put a little fire under them.
That's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Okay, so do we need to make a motion on that, John? Okay.
No, I
This
think,
is-
I think no
this is part
action.
of
It's still an
discussion.
it's still an open case. That doesn't change that. And I think that we just communicate to the staff that this is what our expectations are. We would like them to appear via Zoom at the next meeting to explain the status, not give the details of the negotiation, because that would be inappropriate if they were gonna have a hearing, but to explain why something that we thought they had agreed to in January, they still haven't officially agreed to.
Do me a favor. Don't ask them to, require them to.
Yeah, because actually they have agreed to this. It's been sent out and we have notations of what they have done. Now we want to know why they haven't come in, they haven't completed it.
I mean,
all they have
the
to
other
do
option is the other option is that we could vote to close the case, and if the tenant feels that there's something that isn't appropriate, she can raise a new case.
Well,
Right.
I don't wanna
but
see this
then
case.
you come up with all the issues about arrearages and things like that. I think,
Got it.
I think,
don't wanna do
I think
this
I'd be
case
very
again.
punitive to the tenant to do that.
Okay,
It's not the tenant that's holding this up.
understood. Okay,
So, and that's as Russell was saying, putting fire under these attorneys, right? Correct, Russell?
Correct,
Mhm.
correct.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah. So okay,
So we will
we-
tell them they're required to attend via Zoom next month. The
Okay.
commission has ordered them to appear and explain why the agreement has not been concluded.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. Thank you.
all right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Bendis got an aye, and Commissioner Guest, I don't think I got your vote.
Sorry. Aye.
Excellent.
What about
It's
Brenda?
unanimous. Brenda raised her hand.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's unanimous. All right.
Okay, the next case, you could push it down just a little bit more so I can get to the top. There we go. The next one is 1860-24 One Glover Avenue, apartment 202. The landlord wanted to increase the rent from $2,823 a month to $2,908 a month for a two-bedroom apartment. The complaint was filed. The summary process case was pending in April of 2025. The eviction case was withdrawn from court. The complaint and the person who filed the complaint with us withdrew it. So we recommend that you close the case. Our case no longer exists. They filed a withdrawal of their case from the Fair Rent Commission.
I move to close case 1860-24.
I second it.
Okay, I've got Commissioner Collier Clemens with the motion and Commissioner Weldon with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 That is unanimous.
So
We go to the next.
another one done. But the next one is 1861-25 4 Eversley Avenue, Unit 2. The landlord wants to increase rent from $1,400 a month to $1,650 for a one-bedroom apartment. The tenant feels unfair due to the current ongoing bed bug and rat issues. Spoken at length to the landlord, spoken at length to the tenant. This matter is not going to get resolved. I would ask that we put it down for a hearing. I would think the hearing should be in July so that all the evidence is into the record. And Carlos and I spoke to him today, but it's not gonna go anywhere. Yeah. You know what? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? Let me change that. Let me change that around because I spoke to the landlord today. He's going to send me some records that I want to give to the tenant that may actually resolve the case. I'm not sure. They're very far apart, but I would ask that you take no action this month. Give me one more month to see if I can negotiate it rather than sending it down for a hearing. I think one more month.
If the hearing is not going to be until July, I'd still like to pencil it in. We should look at what the actual calendar is, because I think that first Wednesday is July 4th. So maybe August is even better, but I'd like to pencil it in, and then we can, if we can close the case, great, but I'd like to pencil in that so people know, yeah, if this can't be resolved, we will be having a hearing. It's not going to be pushing it back month to month to month.
Okay, that's good. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be a tough one to resolve. These.
So actually,
Yeah.
the first
That-
July, the first Wednesday in July, it's actually July 2nd.
July 2nd, okay. But people may be out of town with the holiday that week. So let's pencil it in for August, but let's let them know that that's when we would expect to have it.
Perfect. Thank you. So we'll vote to take no action tonight, but we'll let them know that, all likely they'll have a hearing in August.
All right.
So
So
Johnny
that's
Weldon,
discussion.
take
We
no-
need a motion.
I, Johnny Weldon, take no action.
Second.
Motion from Johnny May Weldon and a second from Peter Halliday. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Commissioner Guest, I don't think I got your vote. You're on mute.
I didn't realize I was on mute. Aye.
All right, that is unanimous. Thank you. We can go to new cases.
Yes, everybody, we got one new case in. It's 1862-25, 41 Wolf Pit Avenue, apartment 4K. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $2,294 a month to $2,400.80 a month for a two-bedroom apartment. The tenant feels it's excessive based on their income and the condition of the apartment. Complaint was filed last month. We've spoken to both the landlord, we've spoken to the tenant as well. It clearly falls within your purview to hear it, so we would recommend that you hear the case.
I move to hear 1862-25, Fran Collier Clemens.
Second, Brenda Penn Williams.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Add this one to the docket.
All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Liskoff. All right. Let us go back to the agenda. I believe this is the public participation section, yes. Carlos, is there anyone who's in as a public participant? Would anyone like to speak as a public participant?
There's nobody online.
No other attendees. Okay. Then, is there any old business to discuss? Is there anybody who would like to have some new business to discuss?
I do want to bring something up. I didn't put it on the agenda. I just remember.
Okay.
We're getting close to the summertime. We will be having a dinner or a brunch this year.
Is that a
Good.
question or a statement?
It's a question.
That's a good one.
I leave it to the commission. Commissioners, are we interested in planning a brunch or a dinner?
I like the brunch
Yes.
better than the dinner, but that's just me. I say brunch.
Yeah, the brunch is good.
I like the brunch also.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I could put something in writing, mail it to the commission, ask for some input as
Yep.
far as brunch goes, and maybe some dates. And if their location from last year worked, we could try to repeat that one. If not, we could all accept suggestions for a new brunch place.
I have a question. I mean, are we finished with that?
Yes, that's what I have.
That's good. Go ahead, Fran.
Why do we have public participation so far down in the agenda?
I think because we'd like to take care of the regular business that we have before we enter into the public participation piece. Are you suggesting that we move it up to an earlier part of the agenda, or?
Yes, I do, because in other commissions that I'm on, public participation is addressed. I mean, they are allowed to speak only on the things that are on the agenda. If we put it so far down into our meeting, they can talk about almost anything.
I have to, I feel that you have a great point. Or the fact that on other committee, we do the public comments, that's on the top of the agenda. That's the first thing on the agenda. The public comments.
I have no objection to that. Carlos, Russell, any concerns about that?
I can take
No.
a look at the other commissions and the other
Uh-huh.
meetings that City Hall has,
Yeah.
and
When I sit for the commission in Bridgeport for the condemnation board or the anti-blight board, they usually have public speaking first. It's like one of the first things on the agenda. I don't, you can do whatever you want to do. Makes sense to me. If you want to move it up, no, not a problem.
If we were going to do it, I'd prefer to do it after the acceptance of the minutes, just to clear that out of the way first. But
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
all right, thank you, Fran. That's an excellent point.
And the Common Council also does public participation first. Yep.
Okay, great. Any other new business to discuss? If not, I will take a motion. It's getting dark in my room.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion from Fran. I have a second from Peter Halliday. Any discussion? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good Memorial Day.
thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Theme for tonight was "Baby, Light My Fire."
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Light my fire. There you go. Okay. Have a good one.
Good night, everyone.